Welcome back. This is Apex Investor back from the dead. Uh, so today, Roaring Kitty made a reappearance after I don't know how many years. I'm gonna actually look at his channel right now to see when his last upload was or his last live stream. So he just went live today, uh, about an hour ago, I want to say. So his last upload was 3 years ago, and then his last live stream was also 3 years ago, 2020, 2021, January 22, 2021. And his last video was back in April 2021. So, in any case, he has been out of the YouTube scene for about 3 years, and I've been out of the YouTube scene, I think last year. A year ago, I uploaded a video on January 2023. So, now the reason I have not uploaded is multi reasons, but the number one reason is because I forgot my password. Okay, I forgot my password and my email. I was able to retrieve it today, obviously. That's why we're doing this video. And I'm here to show you my positions. And that's what Roaring Kitty actually did that today. He showed his positions in, obviously, GameStop. So I'm going to just read out. I'm going to read what I screen captured here from his position. So he revealed his positions. He has 5 million shares of GameStop GME. He bought them at $21.27. And then he has another set of shares, 120,000 shares, and he paid only $5.67. Now, what they are worth by the end of by the time that he when he showed the positions, they are worth around, I want to say, $146 million, but he's down just in one day 235 million. So if he cashed out today, that would have been, I'm gonna say, roughly 400 million, almost $400 million. If he cashed out today, he would have been, $0.4 billion. That is a lot of money. In any case, he is definitely a whale, if you want to describe what he is. Me, I'm just a guy trying to survive. And you know what? Although this channel has covered metamaterials historically, it's important to be able to admit your mistakes, to learn from your mistakes, and to move forward. And that's what we did in our previous videos, where I pretty much admitted that metamaterials was a disappointment. Let's just put it that way. And I reviewed the solid stocks about a year ago, and then I summarized them, what the 24 were, and I'm just going to go over them one more time, and then update you as to what are my current positions and the ones I'm looking into. What stocks am I looking to buy in the next year or two? And again, it's all about entry points. Okay, it's not really, I don't know why it's not showing up in this video. I'm going to have to just look at the actual slow video. Okay, so the first one, I believe, was Twinkie. Twinkie has since been bought out. You can't buy Twinkie anymore. They were bought by another company, a larger company. Okay, so that's Twinkie. The next one was Merck, which I'm not so high on pharmaceuticals anymore. They're very expensive, and there's not a lot of upside. It's slow and steady growth. Lucid, that was a bomb. That was a bad stock. Not so much a bad company, but it is not a good stock. Uh, okay, now I'm gonna look at the summary here. Okay, so here we go. WWE can't buy that anymore. GameStop, AMC, those are targeted. Don't invest into targeted stocks. That's a lesson we have to learn. Costco's a great company, but too expensive for my liking. And yes, it is a slow and steady grower. Slow and steady growth stock. I'm a grower, not a shower. Okay. Nike. That's an okay stock, but that's not one I did not pick that. Home Depot's a good stock. Nintendo's a great stock. That is a definite pick of mine. McKesson is a great stock. Uh, at the time of that video last year, it was worth $381. Today, it is worth $586. So that was a great pick at that time. Dollarama, that was worth $81 as of the previous video. It is worth over $100 now. Dollarama, DOL.TO. If I could find that in the list. I think I passed by it. There it is. It's worth $126 today. So just showing you, there are good picks and there are bad picks. That's just part of life. McDonald's, I think that was at 268. Today it has fallen a little bit, 257, but that is a stable stock. That is a great stock, but I wouldn't say it's a pick. But okay, you know what? It is a good to great stock. McDonald's will be here forever. But what is happening is that people are moving away from buying fast food. They are focusing more on groceries, essentials. You know, McDonald's is not essential to life. Grocery shopping is. And plus, it's not even healthy. So people are waking up to that truth. A lot of people are waking up to the health factors regarding McDonald's. So I'm going to look at my positions in this video. Bitcoin is really the way to go. It's been the way to go for the last how many years? I don't know when Bitcoin started. I want to say 2011, maybe before that. So I'm going to open up my Yahoo Finance app on my phone here and just tell you, just go over the charts a little bit. Don't have to go clicking all over the place. Bitcoin really is the way to go because otherwise I wouldn't even have invested. I wouldn't be back in the game and I am. I'm back in the game right now as of today. So Bitcoin was at $400, 421 in 2014. But yeah, before that it was only, pennies and even dollars or even less than $1 for the longest time. And now we have it was at a high of 98,000 Canadian dollars. I don't know what that is in US. I go by Canadian. I'm Canadian. So that is the best investment besides real estate and buying land is Bitcoin. If it wasn't for the Bitcoin I had saved up, I would be broke. I'd be homeless. Okay, so the Bitcoin kept me afloat. That investment into Bitcoin, and that's why I'm investing again into the stock market. Although I prefer to invest only in Bitcoin, I realize Bitcoin is very good, but you're gonna have to pardon the dog barking in the background. Although Bitcoin is very good, it does take. Okay, should I cancel the video? Because okay, I'm gonna open the door. I'm doing a video. Why are you covering your face like that? Because it just felt like it. So although Bitcoin is a great investment, it does take a while for it to reach your entry points and your exit points. For example, when I bought Bitcoin way back in 2020, what year was that? At the price I bought it was about $10,000 Canadian. 5,000 to 10,000, something like that. That was around 2018, I want to say. But I was able to acquire 2 Bitcoin. Okay, I bought 2 Bitcoin via Quadriga CX. That stock market crashed. It's the crypto market. It crashed because the person pretended to die. It faked his death. So I lost 2 Bitcoin. Okay, so but I saved up a little bit in a hard wallet. I don't know what you call it. Cold storage. Anyway, I stored it up in a hardware wallet, and so I remembered I had that. I cashed out this year because I could see that it is at its all-time highest. I said, it's time to cash out because it's going to go down again, and then buy it when it's low, sell it when it's high. So that's exactly what I did. That's the Apex Investor way. So I was able to have a bit of money to invest in the stock market. So Bitcoin is essentially the stock market for dummies. That's what it is. Okay, I'm not trying to insult anybody. I'm just saying things as they are. You can buy Bitcoin at a low. Let's just say it goes down to 20,000 or 30,000 or 40,000, but it goes when it goes down to that range, and it will, 20 to 50,000. You buy it up, right? Obviously, you'd buy it at a low price, but what I'm trying to say is that when it goes down to the low, it stays at the low for like at least 6 months to a year, maybe 2 years. So you have a lot of time to buy it. But when it reaches its high, it also stays at its high, not for a day, not for 6 weeks, but for 6 months. As many as 6 months as we've seen since February. Because it spiked up at February 2024. It went from 57,000 Canadian to 92,000 Canadian. Again, I don't have the American numbers. I focus on the Canadian because that's how I understand it. It's harder to understand it for me in the U.S. because it almost hit 100,000 Canadian. So that's the measure. That's the bar I'm using to measure. So it almost hit 100,000, and I realized, okay, you know what? It's time to sell. And since February, it is now February, March, April, May, June. It's been 5 months at its all-time high. And it's not showing any signs of slowing down, but it will go down. It will go down. It's just the fact of life. Things go up. Things that go up eventually go down, unless you're NVIDIA. So Bitcoin. I think that's all we'll say for Bitcoin. So the verdict in Bitcoin, that's an absolute buy. That's the best you could ever buy outside of the stock market and within any investing market, but that's not real estate. So Bitcoin, the price to enter, again, Canadian, you have to go to Canadian. I'm not going to look at the US. Okay, I'll look at the US just for sake of, for covering it. Bitcoin, buy at 20,000 to 30,000. That's the entry point. Sell, I want to say 90,000 to 100,000 plus. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Let me look at the US for American viewers. Okay, let's search it up. Bitcoin, US here. So it hit 70,000 today, 71 to be exact. Your entry point for Bitcoin in US dollars is between 15,000 to 30,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. Your exit point, you're looking at 65,000 to 70,000 plus. Okay, so you could just live off trading Bitcoin if you have enough money, that is, okay? All right, next. NVIDIA. This is a monster. There's no signs of slowing down, and once the stock splits, which it is going to do at the end of the trading session today, you're going to have 10 stocks, which I bought one for the price of 1,100. I bought at market a week or two ago because I realized this is the next gold rush. NVIDIA is going to be a monster. I'll just leave that in there. Let that incubate for 10 years. It's going to be worth probably 10 times as much as I put into there. Probably will end up as 10,000 in 10 years. That's NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a monster. When you research NVIDIA, they've pretty much not so much monopolized the market, but they have increased the quality of their chips to a point that nobody can catch up. Not that it's impossible, but it's very hard because they've invested so much into doubling and doubling and doubling their processing power and so on and so forth, and their technology. NVIDIA is the gold standard. They are the Rolls Royce of of chips. There's nothing much to say about that. So as to support, that's a little difficult. I'm gonna try to determine what is support for NVIDIA. Okay, so it looks like in the short term anyway, support would be 762, which when you divide that by 10, that's $76. So you want to buy NVIDIA if it drops, because things do drop. Not impossible. $70 to $80 per share. That's what you're looking at as your entry point. And your selling point, well, again, it's hard to say. But just for today, anyway, I'll say 120. So buy it 70 and sell it 120, around there. But this is only going to go up. It's just going up and up and up until it hits the moon. This could go to 1,000 again after the stock split. I don't know. But NVIDIA is crazy. That is the stock, the hot stock. Next one, and I'm a shareholder, full disclosure. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. You can see that right in the bottom right. This is not financial advice. That is my escape from just doing that there. I'm not responsible for whatever you do. That's your choice. Whether you make $1 million, you lose $1 million, that's you. It's on you. Grocery outlet. Okay. I'm just going to look at the chart on my phone here, but basically entry point is now. It's $20 and below. And the selling point or exit point is 40 plus. Maybe even 45 to be exact. Because the trend is, again, grocery, gas, all essentials are going up. People need those to survive and live. So that's grocery outlet, and not only are they the best grocery store in my opinion, they offer groceries at a fraction of what they're supposed to cost. So if you're spending $100 on groceries a month or a week, whatever you spend, I'm going to say a week, people are spending $100 a week. I'm spending $10, okay, at grocery outlet. I'm paying a fraction of what people are usually paying. That's grocery outlet for you. Okay, so grocery outlet is one of the best stocks right now, and they're at a really good price. Beyond Meat. Now, I'm not so high on Beyond Meat. It's more on the technical analysis part of Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat's a great stock to buy at the price of I'm gonna say $5, $5.50, maybe $5 to $6. And you want to sell that at least $10 plus. So that is almost doubling your money just on Beyond Meat. That's a good stock. I don't know about the company itself, but just based on the patterns of the last year, it just tends to go up. Like every 3 months, it goes up to $10. So if there's actual good news, that's going to explode to probably $20 and above, because it was up at it was above triple digits at one point. So this is only, helping you double your money in a very small increments, but I wouldn't say it's small. So you're doubling your money. It's not small. But there is a chance for that to break out. I don't see that happening. But again, if you're buying at $5, you can't really go wrong with that. QuantumScape. Okay, so this video is really about learning from mistakes and understanding the stock market is rigged. Stock market is rigged against the retail investors. It's rigged against people who go for meme stocks. If you make Wall Street your enemy, they're going to target you. They've targeted AMC. They've targeted GME. They halt those stocks. That's why Bitcoin is practically bulletproof. They can't halt Bitcoin if it goes up to 1 million. It's going to just go up and up and up. But not so with the meme stocks. That's why it's very important that you invest in stocks that are not targeted. So what's the opposite of being targeted? You have to be in cahoots with them. You have to join the club. You got to join Bill Gates. You got to join Warren Buffett. Join their club. So what are they investing in? Whatever Bill Gates owns. Whatever he has a share in. He's a shareholder and owner of companies like Microsoft, obviously, Inovio. That's a biotech company. And I was about to say it. QuantumScape. QuantumScape is a great buy. So that's the next one. QuantumScape is a great buy at $5. If you can get that at 550, good for you. That's your entry point. If you could sell it at, I'm going to say, this is a little bit tough, but make that $9, maybe $8, 8 to 12, even 13. But when you're going from $5, 550, 550, and you're selling at 10, even 9, that's almost doubling your money. And QuantumScape has got a lot of potential, especially with their deal with Volkswagen and this technology just taking off. Now, I'm not going to debate electric cars and their potential, but hybrids, great potential. And this technology can only go up if they deliver, if their product delivers as advertised. And QuantumScape, again, you have Bill Gates backing it, so it's really not going to fail. Whatever he backs, he will artificially inflate. So QuantumScape, big, great buy there. Kodak's the next one. This was a great buy. It isn't anymore because it's kind of out of the range that I wanted. But $3 to $3.30 is entry point for Kodak. And you would want to sell, I'm going to say like $5 to $6. And right now it's at $5.55. So that's why it is not a good time to buy into it. But you could double your money on this one too. It just takes a little longer with Kodak. The last time it was up $6 was July, and then it was up almost $6 in March. So we can see it's had a good trend the last 3 months or so. I do believe it's going to go right back down below $4 in the next year or two. And there are rumors they're getting into pharmaceuticals, things like that. So I'm not so strong on the company itself, what they're doing, but more in the name and more in the numbers, the technical analysis side of things. Okay, DraftKings. DraftKings is great because people are always going to be gambling their money on sports. Right now, it's not a good time to buy because it's like in no man's land. It's low and it's not high either. It's like at the mid-level. You want to buy that around $20. Actually, no, make that $12 to $20. And you'll want to sell that $40 and above. So 40 to 60. That seems to be resistance for DraftKings. Okay. Just let me pause for a moment. Okay, next one. Inovio. Yeah, we just talked about Inovio. That's the company Bill Gates is backing. And it's a biotech company. And they're like the only biotech company that is still doing well. Everything else is just either don't exist or they've crashed and burned hard. But Inovio is a trooper. It's here to stay for the long term. And you want to get that around $4, $4.50. That's the entry point for Inovio. And you want to sell that around $13, between 10 to 13. But there's a lot of upside because this was up to $70 at one point. Will it go back to $70? Will it even go up to $20? I don't know. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. Again, Bill Gates backs this. But you can't really go wrong buying this at $4 to $4.50. And it will probably go back down to those levels. Let's just say $4 to $5. That's actually a really safe entry point. And you want to sell between 10 to 13. Inovio. Next one, Microsoft. Okay, this one is too expensive. This is more a stock you want to just hold on to in the long term for like the next 10, 20 years until you retire. But Microsoft is just super strong and probably will not go out of business until Kingdom Come. You want to get that at, let's see, you know what, this is a tough one to analyze. I'm going to say 230 to 250 is entry point. And you don't really sell that. You just keep holding on to it till it gets to, I don't know, 1,000 or something. So this is just a long-term investment. This is a super long-term investment. So that's why I'm not investing in that one, because I don't want to hold on to that for 10 years. Okay, Nintendo next. Those aren't actual shares that I hold in Nintendo. Those are conceptual shares, because I want to buy this at $3 ideally. Right now, they're on the downturn. Soon, they're going to go down to maybe $3, maybe even as low as $6, $7. They were as low as $9 as of January 1st. And they're as high as $16. That seems to be the trend with Nintendo. It goes all the way down to $2, $3 between console cycles. So between the GameCube to the Wii, they were down to $2, and then between the Wii to the Switch, they were down as low as $2.41. But once the console comes out and people buy it up and people go crazy about it, it goes up to 16. So that's crazy growth, but you have to wait a long time, mind you. So that's Nintendo. All right, next one, Dollarama. Dollarama. Great stock. I don't see any slowdown for this. This is one of those stocks that are part of the grocery group, which is one of the best groups of stocks, categories of stocks as groceries. There's really no support. The support is just, let's just say maybe $90 perhaps. 90, maybe even $70 to $90 would be support. Exit, I don't know what the exit would be, 100, 200 plus, because this is just, it's only going up. It's like Nvidia almost, Dollarama, DOL.TO on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Next is Reddit. Reddit is a really good stock. It's proving to show a lot of stability and a lot of potential. Support is looking like, I'm going to say $30 to $40, because it hasn't really tested the depths of the bottom there. In terms of resistance, I'm going to say $60, $70. So if you buy this at $30, $40, you sell it at 60 to 70, you're almost doubling your money. And Reddit is a good company. I use that app a lot. I visit there quite a bit. McKesson. McKesson's a great company. They're a monster in the biotech industry, the medical field. It is like Nvidia as well. Support is looking like $300. Let's just say $250 to $300. And this goes all the way back up. You know what? Let's just be more extreme. The apex way is $100. Let's just say $100 to $200. And resistance is looking like 1,000. This is going to go to the moon. But let's just say 600 for now. The forecast for McKesson is looking great. Novo Nordisk. This is the diabetes company. They do they make blood testing, blood glucose machines, and they also do insulin. So that is a $1 trillion industry. The support for this is probably, I'm going to say 20 to 40. But there are no signs of it slowing down. It's only going to go up. It's another Nvidia kind of situation here. Novo Nordisk, which is stock ticker symbol NVO. Costco. Oh, Costco, again, grocery stock. Support is looking like $400, 400 to 500. It's going to go to 1,000 probably. This is just unstoppable, Costco. Another Nvidia situation. Meta, not Meta Materials, but Meta as in Facebook. Great stock. Who would have thought a $30, $40 stock would have gone up to $500? And that's where we see ourselves right now. A lot of people are kicking themselves in the foot, or kicking themselves in the butt for not buying this at $90 back in 2022. It's at almost $500 now. So that is a great stock. I would buy that at 130, let's just say 100 to 150. It's looking like support, and then you sell that at 500, 400, 500, or 450, whatever. It's going to go to the moon. So that's Meta. McDonald's, I think we covered that already. It's not a good buy at this moment. BFMV, that is Bedford Metals Corp. They're a Canadian company. and they are mining for, you know what? I want to say plutonium, but I don't think that's what they do. Let me just read it here. It says they're uranium. Okay, uranium minerals. So they are. There's a lot of potential for this one. I don't want to say this is a buy. I want to say this is a watch. So watch this closely. Support is looking like 13 cents. 5 to 13 cents is support. I see this going right back down to a quarter, 25 cents, and then you could sell that if it goes up again. But this is too late to buy into, in my opinion. But it's up to whoever is listening. If you want to buy Bedford, go ahead. But I see a lot of potential there, but it's not that. This is one of those kind of like metamaterials kind of buys or vibes. MMAT, it's like that. Bedford is looking like that right now. Okay, next one. Delta. What's the J? Delta Juliet and Tango. This one, I'd say support for this is around $22. Let's just say 17 to 23. And you want to sell this around 50. So that's not bad. But this is really volatile. We'll see how this goes, especially when we get to November and moving forward from there. ISRG. So the next few companies, I'm going to, you'll notice a trend between them, and the trend is the following. These are the only stocks in the stock market that have a profit, that are not in debt. Okay, there's very few companies that do not have a debt. This is one of those. This is Intuitive Surgical Inc. And support for this is 180. So between 130 to 180 is support. That's your entry point, and this, you could sell this 360, 400 plus. This is a great company, but this is one that is another slow burn. You gotta buy it and just hold on to it for 5+ years, 10 years even. Let's just say 5-year hold. You're just gonna hold it, buy it at the price I told you, and never look at it again for the next 5-10 years. So that's what Intuitive Surgical is. That's why I can't recommend that for poor people or people who are not billionaires. Okay, Shopify. That's not recommended. I'm going to skip over that. Monster is the second company that does not have debt. Microsoft is another company I think does not have debt either. So Monster Beverage Corporation, the support for this is between $36, so 30 to 40. I'm going to say 30 to 40 is support for Monster. And resistance is looking like $60. So that's a good company just because it doesn't have debt. Again, really rare for that to be seen. Netflix, great company. I'm going to recommend that as well. But all these companies that I'm mentioning, well, not all of them, but the ones who are above triple digits, I can't really strongly recommend. So I'm going to conclude the video and just giving my strong recommendations. But Netflix is a great buy at the price of 190 and 200, 190 to 200, and you sell that at 600 plus. That's a good one. Tesla. This is one of those stocks that you're going to put a target in your back because, again, it's like GameStop AMC situation. Tesla's like that, where it's being attacked on a lot of fronts, but support is 120 to 130, and exit point is, let's see, 300, maybe even 250 to 300 plus. So you buy this at 120, sell it for 250, you're doubling your money. So you have to know how to play this game. So Tesla's a good stock, just not at the price it is at. So 120 and below is a good support. And speaking of GameStop and AMC, let's look at those. And GameStop, what is support for GameStop? Well, we can see that you can't see my chart, but you have to take my word for it. $18, 18 to 20 is good support in the short term, and resistance is 50 and above, 46 and above. AMC, it's not as hot as GameStop, but it is decent. I want to say support for this is $2 to $2.50. Resistance is looking like $5 to $7. Again, these are rigged because the market is not allowing them to reach their true potential, which is in the thousands. Everyone knows this. They're worth thousands of dollars. I'm not making things up. They're worth thousands of dollars, but they're being artificially resisted. They're being artificially lowered due to all the hedge buffoonery, hedge funds foolishness. What they're corrupt games. Right, Planet Fitness. Okay, I don't think I should go through all of these, but you know what? We're gonna end it there. Let's end it there. I'm just gonna go with my final picks. So these are the top stocks as of 2024. Bitcoin, which is not a stock, but top investment, number one. It's like stock market for dummies. But the number one stock is Nvidia, without a doubt. Everyone talks about it. It's the it stock, and for good reason. It's not just a pipe dream. They're actually changing the world in a lot of ways. So Nvidia, that's number one. Number two, Grocery Outlet. Number three, Beyond Meat. Number four, QuantumScape. Number five, Kodak. Number six, DraftKings. Number seven, Inovio. I'm going for affordable stocks, by the way, so that's not affordable. Did I say seven? So 8 is Nintendo once it goes down, but this one takes a long time, so I'm kind of like honorable mention Nintendo. Okay, $8, not $8. Number 8 would be Reddit. Yeah, Reddit. I can strongly recommend that. Actually, Dollarama's number 8. Number 9 is Reddit. Number 10 is Novo Nordisk. That's affordable. It's not too expensive. So it's number 10. Looking for price. Is it accessible? Number 11 would be this. I can't name it right now, but Delta Juliet Tango. Okay, so that one. That'd be 11. Number 12, Tupperware. Did I even cover Tupperware? Tupperware is a crazy stock. That one's targeted, but it is actually a good stock. There's a lot of upside to that. Let's look at that chart quick. So that's number 11 to 12. I lost count of what number I'm on. So buy that at $1 and below. So if you can get this for $1 or below, that's a great buy because you could sell that at $2. That's resistance is $2, $2.50. But $2 just to be safe. Or even $1.70. But let's say you buy 1,000 of these at $1 and then it goes up to $2. Yeah, you've doubled your money. There you go. So Tupperware, great potential there. And Netflix will be number 12 or 13. Tesla will be another one, and then GameStop, add that there. So that's what, 14? Or we're about at 14 now. So that's it. Those are 14 stocks. I don't know if I counted properly, but that's all for this video. Thank you very much for your time. And when I see you again, we'll see you again. I'm not going to pressure myself to do a weekly video or a monthly video or an annual video, but Roaring Kitty definitely stoked the fire, stoked the flames of interest in the stock market again, particularly GameStop. And I'm back. I'm going to do videos again. I don't know how often, but I hope this video is helpful to a lot of people. It's important to never give up, even if you were up. Like I was at 70,000 with my portfolio at one point, 70,000 US dollars or Canadian. I can't remember anymore. But look, I'm way down below 10,000 now. I have to work my way up from. I'm actually worth less than this, but my only stocks are these two, so that's roughly less than 2,000 US dollars. So I have to start from the bottom. Now we're here. Okay, now start from the bottom. We're in the bottom. We have to dig our way up and just be patient pick the right companies, not because of, hype, not because of anything people say, but because they have a history, a track record, a proven track record of being profitable. And these are all good companies that I've named. They're not just no names, and that's the danger. Like MMAT, it was a no name company. They're all, hype and concepts, and they didn't deliver on any of their promises. I'm going to look at that stock, I'm ashamed of that stock, to be honest, and it was a good learning experience. It was a good learning experience because, you lose 90% of your portfolio, whatever it was worth, because I think it's down like 99%. But you need to learn from those lessons. They're not lessons to destroy you and make you, they can be, but ultimately that's not the point. It's for you to learn and go with what works, and that's what that's what this channel is about now. It's what this channel has always been about, by buying low and selling high, and identifying those really good opportunities. And I think we did that in the last video a year ago, particularly with what was that in particular? I want to say McKesson was one, and other ones that I mentioned. Can't seem to remember right now, but anyway. Alright, so that's it for this video. We'll see you when we see you. So thank you very much for your time. Found my password, and we're picking up the pieces and just going up. The only way from here is up. You've hit the rock bottom. The only way is up. But the only way you can get up is if you don't give up, number one, but you also buy at the right price. So these are the prices I bought at. That's not the best price, but that is more of a FOMO price because of the stock split that's going to happen later today after the market closes. So I'll have 10 shares worth 110 per share, and I'm planning to sell that. I'm not sure how much, but at a profit, let's just put it that way. And then this one I'm planning to sell at $40 and above. So we'll see, little by little, just getting wins, small wins, and then buying low and setting aside the money that's an important principle too. You want to set aside, let me just review a little principles here before closing the video. Diversify is very important. That's one thing I did not do with metamaterials. It was like 90% metamaterials. I should have been 10% here, 10% there, 10% here, let's say I bought 10 different stocks, and I identified in this video about 14 stocks, 13, 14. So if you invested 10% in each one of those, if one failed, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But if half fail, it wouldn't be the end of the world either. But if half go up, then you're okay. So that's why it's important to diversify. It's also important, your entry point, how much are you buying the stock? Are you buying it at the all-time low? Are you buying at the 52-week low? Don't buy it if it's not on sale, as smart shoppers will tell you, thrift shoppers and all that. And you need to know the value of the stock. You only know the value by looking at the 5-year all-time, chart, where you look at previous highs and you look at the track record. Is this a company I can see myself holding forever? As Warren Buffett would say, could you hold Nvidia for 10, 20 years? That's the litmus test that you have to put each stock through. Okay, so I'm going to close it there. Thank you again, and till next time, this is Apex Investor.